1920s also were the Rolling Twenties. Henry Ford's moving assembly line and the Model T automobile brought the internal combustion engine to the masses. In the United States, cars were starting to outnumber horses. Garrett Morgan was the first black man in Cleveland, Ohio to own an automobile. The son of former slaves, his grandfather was Confederate Army General John Hunt Morgan. Garrett Morgan only had a 6th grade education, but he became one of the most prolific inventors in American history. The modern version of one of his inventions, the traffic caution signal, has saved countless lives on the road. 100 years later, Garrett Morgan's story will intersect with these students at Southern University Laboratory School in Baton Rouge.
Coming to an institution like Southern University Laboratory School, where we celebrate the history of African Americans every day, it's fitting for the 100-year celebration that you come here and we have that discussion centered around Garrett Morgan because of what he did.
Lisa Freeman and Shanita Vasquez from the Louisiana Highway Safety Commission are visiting Southern Lab to share Morgan's life-saving invention and to talk to these high school students about responsible driving.
He was an entrepreneur, he was an inventor, a husband, and a community leader. And so it's very exciting to be able to portray that information to the students.
The teenagers settle into the library as School Director Herman Brister sets the stage.
So, 100 years ago, a gentleman by the name of Garrett Morgan invented the signal light. And today we're here to kind of celebrate that accomplishment, that achievement. So I have Ms. Shanita Vasquez from the Louisiana Highway Safety Commission here to kind of go over some things and tell you about this historic moment. Y'all give her a Southern Lab.
Shanita explains how Morgan left his Kentucky home as a teenager and moved to Ohio, where he started work as a sewing machine repairman. He was only 24 when he sold his first invention, a sewing machine belt fastener.
And in 1913, he did the G.A. Morgan Hair Refining Company hair care products. So what I told you guys before, he left with a 6th grade education, but that did not stop him from doing all these great accomplishments.
Then, Morgan invented an attachment to allow a sewing machine to make zigzag stitches. Next was a liquid that prevented high-speed sewing needles from burning fabric.
In 1905, Morgan accidentally discovered the liquid from the sewing machine needle could also straighten hair.
Morgan also invented the safety hood, the precursor to the modern-day mask that firefighters around the world use to avoid smoke inhalation. Morgan came up with that idea when he read about a fire in a shirt factory that killed 140 people. The students are taking keen interest in this remarkable man's story, and you can see that some of them are thinking about what life must have been like 100 years ago. In Cleveland and across the country in the 1920s, streets that used to carry horses, carriages, mules, and pedestrians now were filled with automobiles and chaos. Police officers stood in the road or in towers above the intersections to direct traffic, but people generally either didn't see the police or just ignored them. Schools tried to help by teaching children to obey the traffic officers, but it wasn't enough. The roads across America were a free-for-all, very few rules, and lots of crashes. Enter Garrett Morgan.
He witnessed a traffic crash with a horse and buggy and a vehicle, and a little girl passed away from that. So he went back to his home and he thought, how can I prevent this from happening?
Morgan went to the drawing board. What if there was a way to help everyone on the street know when to stop, when to go, and most importantly, when to prepare for opposing traffic to cross your path? What he came up with was the first three-way traffic signal. Stop, go, slow down.
You buckle up every trip, every seat, every time.
Shanita Vasquez has another reason to talk to these students.
So by show of hands, how many people have witnessed, just this year, have witnessed a traffic crash? Yeah, look around the room. That's a lot of people that have witnessed a traffic crash.
These are high school students, mostly freshmen. Some are driving now, some will be driving soon. So today is more than a history lesson. It's about the future. Shanita explains that motor vehicle crashes are the #1 cause of accidental deaths for African Americans under the age of 25 in the United States. In a 2-year period in Louisiana, that amounted to 655 young people.
So 655 brothers, sisters, cousins, 15 to 24 are not here because of vehicle crashes.
Just hearing about that statistic and what driving was like 100 years ago without a caution signal got Armarian Asbury thinking.
It is very dangerous, first off, because you can't just read other people's minds, telling them, okay, you go here, and then I'm gonna go. It's dangerous, so it's like a waiting game. Very scary. It can really impact somebody's life.
They were listening. They got the message, that safety is everything when you're in that vehicle. And not just for themselves, but they're going to be mouthpieces and conduits for information to their sister and their brothers and their friends and their cousins and whoever else happens to just be in that vehicle with them.
Director Freeman is right, according to Peter Mingo.
I never knew that they didn't have any lights back then. I always thought that they always had lights, but learning that now just gave me new information. I'll probably go tell somebody else because I never knew that.
Alea Martin isn't driving yet, but when she does, she'll remember what she learned about Garrett Morgan's story.
I think it's amazing and incredible how we can have someone to idolize and look up to.
There's Southern Laboratory School, right? And so when you focus on the word laboratory, that's exactly what they are. They're a laboratory for growing things, and they let us come in so that we could help them grow something.
Garrett A. Morgan, entrepreneur, inventor, businessman, American icon. A production of Lambert Media.